We have a question now from a viewer. She or he has brought up prenups. Is a prenuptial agreement always upheld if a couple divorces? Talk a little bit about that. How common are those prenuptial agreements?
Define what it is,
yes.
too.
A prenuptial agreement is a contract that you prepare prior to your marriage and set it up as the way you want your community property. As we talked earlier, community can be shared. You can also say, I want to keep my property and you keep your property. The key on whether or not a prenuptial agreement is upheld is spend the time and money of getting a proper prenuptial agreement before you go. The cases that I've handled where I've knocked out community property prenuptial agreements is because they didn't take the time to prepare them properly. If you have a good agreement and it says what you want and can be enforced under the laws, it's a very tricky area of the law, it will be upheld. And basically what it does is if someone doesn't want to share community and doesn't want the issue of the debt shared, they can say this is mine and this is yours, what you earn is mine and what I earn is.
And that can be effective against third parties. In other words, against that credit card company, against others. And the Louisiana law will allow marrying couples to say, we're getting married, but this is not going to be a community property regime or setup.
Exactly.
And so if the husband has a gambling problem, that's going to be his debt, and if he runs up a big debt, they'll only be able to collect the money from him and garnish his paycheck, but not the wife's paycheck.
Exactly.
Do you see a lot of these? Do you see a lot of
I do. I see some, and it just depends. It's not, I wouldn't say every day, but I do see, and I've seen more over the last couple of years.
Yeah, and you know, there are a lot of resources out there that are available online. So when you talk about getting a good prenuptial agreement, what do you say to people? I mean, I may think that I have a good prenuptial agreement, and maybe not until we have to go through this process do I find out that it really isn't. Louisiana
law is different than a lot of states, and to me, you need to be very careful with the forms, because sometimes what you think is in the form may not be there, and that's what a lawyer can help you with.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to add to that, that you see a lot of advertisements. You can, spend $100 and get all kinds of legal forms that help you do everything from, I get a divorce to set up a company and whatever. It's kind of you get what you pay for, and some of these companies are national. If you're getting a piece of paper that you print out on your home computer and you're filling in the blanks yourself and you don't have a licensed Louisiana attorney double checking it to make sure that it's going to pass a challenge in court, be very careful, and it just makes sense.
And what people have to realize is every situation is different. You may have certain assets that need to be protected a certain way, or you may have certain things that in a business that you want to protect, and that's what an individual contract can do.
So what I'm hearing from both you and from John is that based on how that agreement is structured, it may or may not be upheld in court.
Exactly.
Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. Well.